Okay, we're on a roll with our vlookup, so let's we could probably do this one with our eyes shut. So this is another vlookup. We're looking up the stock code again. We're going to the file which I've called stock list, and if you were not into typing that much, you would have called it stock. We probably want the third item in the list. I'm guessing that's price, and then false because we want to find the exact match, and enter. Oh, wrong one. So if that happens, then it's obviously not the third column, but it's the fourth column. So I just changed that to 4. Okay, let's make sure that that works. So, oh yeah, everything is working. How fantastic. Right, number required. This is going to be a number that the person wants to buy. How many do they want to buy? So again, I've highlighted that in grey because that's the only place where somebody's going to type in. Obviously, we don't want them typing over this because this is our formula. So later on, we'll lock those. But we can put some validation on here so people don't do anything stupid like type in 100 instead of 100, which actually is a very common computing mistake. So that's some data validation on there. So we do it in exactly the same way, but this time we just say we just want whole numbers and greater than. Okay, so let's say the minimum can be 0. All right, so, and that's it, and then we just say okay. All right, so that's the least that can be typed in. So if, for example, I typed in -9, oh, error. Okay, not allowed to do that. So if I typed in 8, yeah, it's happy with that. Okay, now because we've put these formulae in, obviously we need to go back to our design sheet, and here I have said that these are our vlookup formulae, and you can even put the vlookup formula in. So I know that the vlookup formula, what it is, it was equals vlookup. It's not going to fit on my screen here. And then I went to A6 because that was the first value it had to look up. It then went to stock list and etc. Okay, so you can fill that in. I'm not too fussed about that. And again here, the validation, I've put validation only numbers allowed, and I've formatted it to grey. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the VAT and the subtotals, which are going to be very straightforward, and then we're going to fill all these formulae down so we've got this working. So let's say number required. Let's just put in an easy number for us, like 8. Now I've put in 20% VAT at the top here. Okay, so the first thing we need to calculate is the VAT on the whole of this total, and that's just going to be the price times however many we want. So remember, times is the star button, times the 20%. Okay, so that's my formula. So I just clicked on the numbers that I wanted to have in there, and then I just do enter. So that's the VAT. So it makes sense. I mean, if you do your maths, that makes sense. Like if you're buying 5 items, then 20% of that is going to be one of the items, and so that's the VAT. And the subtotal is going to equal. Now this is a bit of an odd calculation, but it does make sense. So we need to have the total amount we would pay, which is the price times the number, add to that the VAT. Okay, so that's what we want, and press enter. Now to make sure that it's going to do the multiplication first, again thinking back to your BODMAS, we'll just put brackets around that so it makes sense. Okay, now we've got all the formula we need to be able to fill down. So I've got a formula here, so I can fill this down all the way for my 10 items, and I'll do the same for hippopotamus. Let's just fill that down, and I can see, it doesn't matter that it says NA, but I can see that it's the vlookup formula that's being filled down. So again, I want to fill this down. Obviously the number required is not anything we fill down, and then I'll come back to, oh, and the subtotal we can fill down as well. Okay, so that's all fine because all these things needed to be filled down. Okay, now the reason it comes up with NA is because here we haven't chosen anything. Okay, now, and then it sort of updates the minute we type something in. And I've formatted these to currency, as you can see. Okay, now this NA is going to be really annoying for somebody who's got a spreadsheet. So I'll just quickly show you how to sort out the NA bit, and then we'll do the rest of the invoice. So basically, I'm going to highlight wherever it says. Oh, I'm going to highlight the whole thing in case, you know, we have a blank spreadsheet to start with. So wherever I've got my VLOOKUP formula, I've highlighted those. I'm then going to find conditional formatting, which maybe, who knows where it is, probably under format, but I haven't got format here and I won't be able to see it. So let me just... Okay, it's on the home tab under styles, so mine is a bit squashed. So there's my conditional formatting. So I find my conditional formatting because basically what I want to do is not have NA come up. NA is an error in the formula. It's saying I basically can't find it. So of the list that shows up, I'm going to choose new rule. So let me just show you what this looks like. So this is what the new rule thing looks like. And I want to choose the one which says format only cells that contain. Okay, that's the one we want to look at. And instead of cell value here, I'm just going to choose errors. Okay, so if it's got an error on it, so for example, if it hasn't got an NA on it, then I just want to format the text to white so you just can't see it. That's the easiest way of not having that. So I've clicked on format cells, I've chosen font, drop down color, choose white, and then say OK, and then say OK, and then that's all gone white already underneath. I can see that. So now I click away from that and there is no NA, and I repeat the same thing over here, and then I have to say all the formatting that has been done so far for this. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video, and the next thing we're going to do is just sort out the VAT formula, because there's something, if you drag that down it goes a bit weird, so we're going to sort out that in the next video.